NFL Daily, where we definitely believe in the fired coach principle. I'm Greg Rosenthal in the Chris Wesseling podcast studio, alongside my friend, Cynthia Frelund.
The fired coach principle?
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in just a minute.
I know where you're going with that.
You know where I'm going.
Obviously, but
the dead coach bounce. It's coming up in this show. But very happy to be next to my friend Cynthia, and happy for once to be recapping our records on this man versus model segment that we do.
Look at us.
Each and every week. I finally had an undefeated week.
Let's go.
It was coming. It was slowly coming. So I had a 3-0 week last week, 14-13, a little, just over 500 on season. Cynthia keeps stacking up those 2-1 weeks. A lot of winning weeks lately. So between the two of us, 5-1 last week. We're feeling good.
Pretty good.
We're gonna try to build on that.
Yeah, we are.
3 games against the spread. That's what we do each week. We joined forces last week.
Yep.
Fading the Cowboys. That was smart of us. We both hit that, so that was a good job. So we could agree on one of these picks, but I'm going to let you take the first one.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
I'm fading the Cowboys again.
Oh, yeah, so am I.
I have the Eagles covering the 7.5-point spread. I think that is a ridiculously low number. Are you thinking a higher one now?
No, that's one of mine too. I saw it was at 7 when I looked this morning, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so whatever. 7.5. I'm fading them either way because that is actually the same thing, right? 7, whatever. So long story short, I'm just saying the Eagles here are in much better position to take advantage of a reeling Cowboys team. I think a lot of changes are coming their way, even though at the trade deadline they were buyers and not sellers. I love your face with that.
Weird.
I was kind of hoping to see what you would say. But long story short, I can't. 8 points? No.
We're joining forces again, because this was the one I felt best about. So once again, we're going against the Cowboys. I think it's going to come in handy. Just give it to me. Inject this one into my veins, this game. So it's one thing just like looking at the football of it all. I think just the football of it all, taking Dak Prescott out of the mix, but even if he was in the mix, if this was 4 or 5 with Dak Prescott, I would love to do it. Just how these two teams are playing. Eagles as a top 10 type of team in total efficiency. Cowboys as a bottom 6 or 7 type of team in total efficiency. The two line plays, like the offensive line of the Eagles versus this Cowboys D-line, even if Mike is back, total domination. And then vice versa. The Eagles defense has been playing a lot better lately.
Can I ask you an unanswerable question? Why isn't it Trey Lance?
Okay. I think it will be in a couple weeks because Cooper Rush is better at playing quarterback at the NFL. He's an okay backup.
Okay, let's just wait, hold on. We're getting off track here, but I want to understand this a little bit. I'm Mike McCarthy. Dak is out. He's hurt.
Yeah.
So I have a chance here to get a free look at who's on my roster. I already know what Cooper Rush is. Yeah?
Yeah. He's just worried about saving his job. The little chance that he has. Cynthia staring at the camera like she's Jim from The Office. Yeah, that he just thinks the best chance.
Yes, I am John Krasinski. That is my new alter ego.
The best chance I think would be winning games that you're not expected to win, and he thinks Cooper Rush gives him a better chance to do that. Although you could also argue the only chance he would ever have is do something creative with Trey Lance and make Trey Lance look good. But what are the odds Mike McCarthy could do any of this?
But wouldn't you say, like, okay, I'm Mike McCarthy. Let's make Trey Lance look awesome. So then I have this great trade bait for later. And see, haha, look what I've done. I've created value for you. Like, I don't know. Just maybe somebody.
No, you're absolutely right.
Maybe somebody somewhere can explain
the process with the Cowboys is all wrong. It's why getting Jonathan Mingo is all wrong. It's not about, oh, wow, this is a cost-controlled contract. That's why it costs
the same as DeAndre Hopkins.
It's like, okay, but you got to take into account he's cheap for 3 more years. Yeah, but you got to take into account he can't play, that he can't get open, that the tape is brutal, and teams always overvalue their college evaluation of a player when the NFL tape is so much more important.
But why would I want to admit I'm wrong about anything?
Right.
I mean, why would I ever want to say, hey, maybe I got this one wrong?
Well, come back to us. If both Cynthia and I get this wrong,
then we deserve to be.
Yeah, then we deserve to. But we're feeling good. We're now 1-0 when joining forces,
Woo-hoo!
at least in the last 1 week. I think
it's a Grinthia.
I think we did join forces earlier in the season. And yeah, like this is where you need a coach to get creative offensively. Mike McCarthy is not that guy. This isn't a game I don't think the Eagles will play with their food at all because it's the Cowboys. It's their rivals.
That's right.
Hurts has been very composed lately. A lot of big plays. They've had dominant stretches. I know messed up at the end of that Jaguars game. But from the second half of that Bengals game through the first half of that Jaguars game, they were steamrolling teams. So, all right, we're both on the Eagles. Give me your second pick.
Well, do you want to? You were actually,
that was my pick though too.
Okay.
So we're
Well,
we each have
if we
one
did
each.
golf rules, you should have actually started this off.
It's fine.
Whatever. Minnesota and the points, please.
Okay, so
I mean,
now that
I'm
we're
like
taping
taking
this,
food from a baby. I want to keep our good record going. At the moment we're taping this, we do not think that Trevor Lawrence is playing.
no, there's no reason to.
Right? So
It's a touchdown now. It's up to a touchdown.
fine.
Yeah, you're good with that.
Fine. Give me a touchdown. Sure. I mean, is Aaron Jones playing? Yeah, okay. Is Justin Jefferson? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not scared by anything that could be happening there. Is it CJ Beathard? Who is it?
It's got to be Mac Jones.
Right, but then
You would think, although they haven't announced it, and then CJ Beathard behind.
And he
him.
said at the trade deadline, he's like, we wanted to get him back on this roster to be the backup. Like, I don't know. What? All I'm saying is I'm not scared of Mac Jones.
I wouldn't be either. I like that one. I should have written that in my box. Maybe I will. I'll join you.
You have to do it in a fake Midwestern accent, though. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
There you go.
Getting 7
It's even
points.
better than I thought it was going to be.
It's funny because they had such bad vibes. I hate talking about vibes when we're talking
Vibe check.
analysis and everything. But it's one of the reasons why I feel so good about the Cowboys, that the vibes of their starting quarterback saying, we effing suck, and Mike McCarthy slamming down, and them just making mind-boggling decisions in terms of their play calling with the fake punts and everything. Like, the vibes are down horrendous. I give Doug Peterson a little credit.
Vibes are low. Vibes are low.
Steve Weiss and I were there as they were getting steamrolled in London, and that team seems so disconnected. And they've actually played pretty hard since then. Like, even in last week's game, they could have laid down when they were down big against the Eagles, and they battled back a little. So they've got some players. I think they'll try, but that's not going to be enough when you have Mac Jones behind a bad offensive line against Brian Flores' defense.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that there's anything. I'm not scared of this offense. I was on Minnesota's side. It was only 4 points when it was Trevor Lawrence, but I was on Minnesota's side for more than 4 points when it was Trevor Lawrence. So why would I not think that with a change of quarterback that 7 would be very achievable?
Okay, I like that. That was not one of the ones I wrote down. I'm still debating on my third pick. I'll see if you take it. But my second pick is something more powerful than X's and O's. It's believing in something more than just what's on the field and the players. It's believing in a higher power.
You got to ask. No. Patrick loves momentum.
No, it is the fired coach principle. It's the fired coach bounce. If ever there was a fired coach bounce, it is Dennis Allen. Because based on the reporting that's out there and piecing a few things together, I believe that the players essentially fired Dennis Allen. That literally there was, a connection. The reports have come out that it was essentially ownership. The GM, the front office didn't disagree, but there was conversations between ownership and a lot of the players. I mean, these players helped to get rid of this coach, whether indirectly or directly. I think it was directly. They're going to be playing their hearts out. Now, normally I would say this is such a great spot for the Saints because of that, no matter what. Then you throw in the Falcons factor. This is the rivalry game. You throw out the records in the rivalry game. Every Saints-Falcons game comes down to an insane play that you can't believe happened at the very end, unless it's Jameis Winston calling a touchdown on the goal line for Jamal Williams. That was actually a blowout, but that was an insane play at the end. So the number here is 4. Yep. Saints are plus 4. They don't have to win the game. I'm going to pick them straight up on our show game debut just to be spicy. I don't feel as good about that as I do about getting plus 4, but they did have some good players come back too, Cynthia. Cesar Ruiz returned last week. I hope Lucas Patrick is back for this game. He was in and out last week. Taysom Hill was back, and I do think it'll be their defense playing, and I do think the division familiarity, the rivalry game, and the higher power that is the fired coach principle that they cover this for.
I mean, my only problem with that is the Marshawn Lattimore not being there piece, along with
he's hardly ever there anyways.
I get it, but it does make a difference. It takes a lot away from them, and also they just haven't been tackling on defense. I still have not seen them be really stout with their tackling. I don't think that was a hey guys, let's band together to get Dennis Allen fired by not tackling these guys. So I don't know. I'm with you in the fired coach principle. The math is different. However,
I get it.
it's not one of mine that I feel really strongly.
But tackling might be an effort thing, a little bit of a
It's
let's
absolutely
be
an
totally
effort thing,
focused on the
but-
details. We got some really prideful veterans, Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan,
Yeah.
Carl Granderson
Yeah.
sending out Instagrams like saying, "This is me walking into work this morning," and he's singing and dancing like
How bad was Dennis Allen if they're doing this stuff?
I don't know, but
These are grown ass men. Oh, sorry. These are grown butt men.
it's
they're-
fine.
They're not like young ones. See, they're young, but they're not like the new guys on the team.
This is their Super Bowl. If I was going to pick the Saints to win one game the rest of the season, this is that
I'm
game.
with you, but I'm
Let's
just very confused about. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of effort to like. You know what's funny? I've actually maybe I'm not influenced enough, but I have not used social media at all this week, like not even a little bit. So
Smart.
I haven't seen
Smart mental health move, I feel.
Listen, I got to protect the mentals, you know? So I haven't seen like any of the player stuff, so I'm only hearing it secondhand, which is actually maybe I need to come get all of my news.
No, you can't put that
secondhand.
into the model. The model needs to be unemotional. But
No,
at
the
least just
model's
don't
always
go
unemotional,
again.
but
Don't go
sometimes I
again.
like to see, you know, I've literally only been reading like press conference recaps that we get in our email. Like that is where I have been this week. I've namaste'd it.
Smart. I think that was a healthy and
Sometimes I make good decisions.
productive move. You make great decisions. Just look at your fiance. All right, let's look at your dogs.
The
Those are great
dogs.
decisions. All right, your third and final pick.
My third and final pick. I think I was going to do one that was a little less spicy, but I'm feeling quite spiceful right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Denver and 8 points.
Okay. That's one of the two I'm
Shut
debating as my next pick.
Really?
I think now I'm going to go off of
You
it.
should go off of it so
but-
then we can get more
but
great
that-
content.
That was where I was leaning for most of the week. I love it. You explain why you love it.
I think Denver last week, they got routed. We get it. But they were doing some weird stuff. They were doing run blitzes, not their usual pass blitz. I don't think they win, but I think 8 is too much of a difference. I think it's more like 5 or 4 even, something like that. We haven't seen anything from this Chiefs team who's undefeated and maybe looking ahead to next week for Buffalo. This is the classic trap game situation, you know? So I just don't think, while I believe that the Chiefs probably win, and they have not been winning the easy way at all this season. They do not like to take the easy way out. They do not like to make their fans not have a heart attack. They're winning close games. Their defense is really good, but so too are the Broncos on defense. Their defense is way better than it looked against the Ravens. That was a weird outlier of a game. Remember last year we saw like a 60-pointer, against 60 Burger with a freaking Dolphins, and that was
Right.
not indicative of who they were. So if you extracted all the Derrick Henry data from what they've done this season overall, even without Baron Browning, I'm not worried about their ability to get some pressure.
I'm so with you on this one. Last year, these two teams faced off against each other twice in 3 weeks. The Vance Joseph-led Broncos held Patrick Mahomes to 14 points a game. Now, that was early when the Chiefs were struggling, although they never totally got over. But I do think that matters when it's the same coaching staff. The Broncos beat them actually in one of those games, 24-9. So they split last year. They weren't giving up points. This is a better Broncos defense. They're on a short week, Kansas City is. They played 83 plays on offense last week. And
Like
that's
almost
always on
2
my
games.
radar when there's a huge play total. And everyone always focuses on the defense. For instance, you can look at the Bucs defense is going to be tired. And the defense is going to be tired. They played 83 plays. Well, offenses can't get tired. I mean, 83
No,
plays.
offenses don't get tired. Don't you know that?
They can
Only
get tired too.
defensive players get tired.
So short week. We had 83 plays. It's a division matchup, which I think always shrinks.
Throw the record out, right?
No, don't throw it out. But I think it shrinks the margins a little bit.
Yeah.
Some history. I'm with you. I think the Broncos are a good enough team that they bounce back. That was going to be my third pick.
But I think you should go off of it because then we
I will. We're not
don't
going
want to talk too long.
That'll be in my
Put it in the
my
box. Yeah.
The Broncos +8 because I did agree that was probably going to be my third pick. But now I don't feel as comfortable here because it's not a homer pick. But the Bears are so bad offensively that I'm taking the Patriots and the points.
Can I say something that's a little
6.5.
off topic here?
Please.
Can Bears fans keep their grubby bear paws off of my offensive coordinator until at least the end of the season, please? I want Ben Johnson to get a look at a head coach if that's what he wants, but not till the end of the season, Bears fan. Get out of my mentions about that. I Keep your grubby bear paws off of him.
I would want him totally out of the division in general. If I'm Ben Johnson,
Get out of my grubby bear.
I don't want to be in the NFC North going up against LaFleur and O'Connell and Dan Campbell. Like that's
But I know Bears fans want it, and I'm taking it as a big compliment. But not yet. Not yet.
Everyone wants Ben Johnson.
Hold.
Saints fans will want him.
He's not going to the Saints. He's not stupid. That cap situation is
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Atrocious. They have like $39 million from Marshawn Lattimore, man.
So this one's tough because it's gonna pain me even more if the Patriots don't cover this 6 because I root for them. But the Bears are so bad offensively right now. They're lost. And you can look at what they did with those couple games against bad defenses. The Patriots are a bad defense. That tape they put out there last week against the Cardinals was embarrassing. The effort from some of the receivers hasn't been great. Like they're not on their details. The offensive line's bad. Caleb looks a little shooketh, I would say, because things aren't happening in front of him how they're supposed to happen. Drake May, to me, looks more comfortable if we're looking between the two rookie quarterbacks. And so they just are a team that has so many problems that I love to just take points against a team with that many problems. I know defensively they're better. I would still pick them to win, but 6 points is too much for me. I'm taking the Patriots.
Well, the things that I feel strongly about in this game are Ramondre Stevenson still being worth a fantasy play. Same with him potentially getting in the end zone because Andrew Billings is not playing. That's their big defensive tackle. That's a big, huge, massive deal. And also, if Montez Sweat doesn't play, it will change how I feel about how close this game is. I still think the Bears win because of their defense. They do maybe get some of that secondary back that they've been missing. That's a big deal. Plus, I do think I do believe that they're going to get some of these heavier personnel formations down. Like maybe use 12 once in a while. Maybe throw, an extra lineman out there to help your guy know what's going on. It hasn't looked pretty on deep passes. And a lot of that is because Caleb Williams has been running for his life. So help him out. Help a rookie out.
Right. It's like their EPA per play numbers. It's everything. I think he's part of it. I think he's holding on to the ball too long sometimes, and no one's comfortable. So it's the coaching, and it's not working on what's happening with Caleb. And yeah, maybe I'll be wrong. It is not always the best thing to go off of vibes, but the vibes there are so horrendous. And sometimes vibes like the Saints last week with the Panthers. I don't know how they lost that game, but somehow the power of the vibes were so strong that they found a way to lose that. And what's happening, like Matt Eberflus is holding that play sheet so tight right now. The players seem so unhappy. They're asking DJ Moore if he should, if he's lost the locker room, he's like, I'd like to say no. I mean, that is all concerning. I just think this game could be tight. It wouldn't shock me if the Bears lose this game outright just because of all the negativity. So I will take the 6 points. That'll be my third. To recap.
But wait, don't you want the Patriots maybe not to win this? Because right now they're sitting pretty at pick number 1.
That's true. It's a long way to go. They'll probably win, one game at some point the rest of the season, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, but it
would be nice.
Don't give it to the Panthers.
It would be nice.
Steal it for yourself.
You got a long way to go here.
You already have a quarterback. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and you'd have the first pick, and maybe you can trade down, pick up a ton of picks.
Right.
Get
I'm just saying. I don't
know.
No,
You're
something
right.
to consider.
Absolutely. You took the Eagles. I took the Eagles. We're aligned there.
It's both. Cynthia.
We're at -7 according to
Great. Take it at -7.
The Vikings you're taking at -7, and then we both like the Broncos. Officially, you will be the only one with the Broncos +8. My 3 picks were the Eagles. We're together, and then the Pats +6 and the Saints +4. Now, this is a week where I had a lot in the box because I'm coming off a 3-0 week. You end up feeling more confident.
That's right.
And suddenly everything looks big. It's like when you're hitting threes.
It's yeah, this is fine.
The
Whatever.
hoop just looks a little bigger. So I like the Rams -1 on Monday night. I just think they're a better team than the Dolphins. I know you're on the other side of that.
I'm on the exact other side of that.
Don't care. Rams probably getting 2 offensive linemen back for this game, which is a really big deal. We'll see, but they're practicing. It sounds pretty optimistic that they could get Steve Avila and Jonah Jackson back. I think they're better. I just think the Dolphins are a team defensively that are finding ways to lose. So it'll probably be a close game, but I like the Rams to win. And then going over to Berlin, I like the Panthers +6.5. You're going to give me 6.5 points? as a Giants team, and Bryce Young's been playing better lately. I think he's played better the last couple weeks. I think that ends up being a close game, and the Panthers cover the 6.5. And then you threw the Vikings in, so that's going to be in my box too.
You know what's hilarious? I actually think Daniel Jones throws for over 1.5 touchdowns.
Okay.
In that game.
Sure. I could see that being
it's at 4 games where he's done it.
More of an entertaining game than people would than expect, because Theo Johnson, Malik Neighbors, the Giants defense finds a way to mess things up. Bryce Young's playing a little better, and it's something like 26-22, and they cover that. 26-23.
I just think Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Cynthia's going strong on the 2 touchdowns.
I know, it's random.
That is it for our picks, man versus model, week number 10. We're on a roll. We're both over 500. Let's keep this winning streak going. It has been a great week here on NFL Daily. We said goodbye to our good friend Randy Chavez. So we wish him all the best in his future endeavors. We will be back on Sunday with a recap show. Nick Shook, Patrick Claybon.
Momentum.
Yes, and all the momentum you can handle. Look, when I'm picking a Bears team to start imploding, you know football is back. See you then.